What is up, guys? Evanaldo here. Welcome back. Really appreciate you guys showing up. If you enjoy the content, please leave a thumbs up. Got a lot to talk about today for Bitcoin Ethereum. Might be a really good short opportunity right now, possibly. If you want to trade, there is a really good promo going on with BITGET right now. There's a trading tournament going on, so check that out. Really good bonus right now if you use my link down in the description below. It's for experienced traders only. And please check out my Twitch as well. Live streams are exclusively on Twitch. So may not be live today, but definitely going to be live really soon. If you follow me on Twitch, you will get the notification when I do go live. Stop in, say from YouTube. I'll give you a shout out. Also, let me know if you have any questions there as well. So let's start out with the daily. I want to start with the daily on Bitcoin. So what you're having here is RSIs are splitting apart a little bit, starting to curve down. Just starting to curve down here. Money flow coming out while you do have a red dot, which is usually a pretty bearish sign overall. Not as bearish as it could be if you had, the view up looking like this as it's coming down. Usually when it's above the zero line for a while, then it finally comes down. That combined with the money flow coming out is a very high probability will come down. But you still could absolutely come down with this, I would say. And if we look historically, it's a little choppy here with the money flow, but a lot of these, see this one just come up, then come back down. It got choppy here, obviously, in September, and these were choppy too, but a lot of these do. I mean, this one right here, this crossover back, in November 10th, kind of gave you what you needed almost at the end of it. We haven't had, the point here is we haven't had a money flow crossover give us what we were looking for too much for a short until really this one, the ones in April, these two in April. And I think we could be due for one. So that's why I think we could potentially come down a good amount here. And you could see a potential capitulation pretty soon to a bottom, probably sometime early to mid-January, potentially, if it does play out like, one of these and you do crash down a lot. And my guess is around 30-something% down from kind of where we are right now. And I think what the point that's going to be huge is going to be, it's right around 11.1, 11.2, right around 11K is your 500 weekly moving average, which I think is going to be huge. And Bitcoin historically tends to bottom out at major weekly moving averages, such as the 200, the 300. It was mostly the 200. Now, as time goes on, it gets higher and higher. But my feeling is the 500 right now. That's my main guess, and I think we can hit it in the next few weeks, potentially by the end of January. Other thing that's pretty bearish right now, I mean, you do have a blood diamond in the 16-hour. These, they could go either way. Usually they do typically always play out. Not either way, but sometimes in the short term either way, but then they turn bearish. I mean? Like this one. This one played out pretty well here, obviously. This one took a little bit. This one played out pretty well. So most of these do play out pretty well. This one, obviously, you can make the argument this is one that's taken a little bit. Then you got this one, and this will give you the real catalyst that you need to come down. You got a technical target around this area right here, 14.5. My guess is you'll play around with probably 15.5, this spiral line pocket, before you finally end up there. But we could end up at this place pretty soon, in my opinion. Also, double blood diamonds on the 10-hour here, so I do consider that to be a bit more bearish. I think that could easily, bring you right down to, at least the point I'd said, 15.6, and then down to here, to this spiral line right here. And then after that, there's not too much between. You got spiral line at 12K, but I think that capitulation could bring you to that 11K area pretty soon, especially if the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ come down as well, which those look terrible. We'll talk about those. So that's kind of my main prediction coming into January here. Wish I could be a little bit more bullish, but yeah. Split RSI is curving down in the 6-hour right there. And then you have kind of the same thing in the 4-hour. The 2-hour right now, you got the green dot right there printing on the hourly. So you're coming up a little bit, but what I think could happen, and it may not always be right, but either something like this or maybe something like that onto the market side for SR point seems pretty likely, especially with those blood diamonds on the higher time frames. Really low timers here, not too much to say. Probably would just continue in the red in the 15-minute for a while. So yeah. And moving on to Ethereum, a lot of the same as Bitcoin. You do have the bullish div on the 10-day here now. The main possibility, I guess, for the bullish case is you would kind of more stay. You'd come up a little bit, then you'd come down, I would say. Sometimes these don't mean too much, especially when the money flow is getting deeper into the red here. So I wouldn't give this much credence until it confirms in the 4 days. It could absolutely go away, especially if it come down, especially if this yellow X on the weekly plays out some more. Look at that, where that brought us. Even this, even if it's just like this one, that was that was still a 20% drop. So You know, that would bring us down. Let's see. I mean, that's, yeah, playing with a double bottom with June at that point. So, yeah, and it is confirmed now too. So be very careful with that. In terms of the 2-day, a little bit choppy with the money flow here. 2-day, I would say more neutral to bearish, just with the money flow coming out that could roll over and get a red dot pretty soon. But the daily, just like Bitcoin, would tell us a little bit more. Crossing into the red on the daily now. RSI splitting apart. You know, there's definitely a case they could come up higher. It may be different though, where they just curve down here. So that's my main guess right there. And then if you look at this money flow crossover right here, I mean, theoretically, it could be something like this if we 36% down from kind of, yeah, I would say from that high or something. If it's like that, yeah, you're toying with, you know, these lows right there. If you lose those, there's not much in between there and 600, you know, 600, 500, big, you know, spiral lines here at 5 something, and then 300. So this area is going to be huge in between there. I think that's going to be, you know, kind of probably your best accumulation phase. And then, you know, 16-hour, obviously in the bear market, you know, it doesn't do the green money flow crossovers don't give you too much. I mean, you come into the green, you roll over. You know, you come into the green here, you just roll over. You know what I mean? It could easily be something of this nature. You know, 30% down, we could have these big jumps down. I know I talk about it a lot. Sometimes, you know, it's hard to predict when it's going to happen. I mean, we could linger on sideways for a few more weeks, then crash down. I mean, it takes a little bit. Or we could see more of a crash down in the next 12 hours. You know, sometimes it's hard to predict, you know, the exact timeline on it. But yeah. And you did confirm, I believe, almost a bearish div here, kind of depending. I wouldn't, nah, probably technically not a bearish div. It's a little subjective, but, you know, momentum waves coming down here in the 10-hour. And then split RSI is coming down on some of these lower time frames here. So I do think overall it would lean more bearish. If you wanted to enter, you know, a potential swing short, probably now on this jump would be the time to do so, based especially on, you know, Bitcoin on those blood diamonds confirming. So yeah. Now let's move on to the S&P 500. Now, obviously, we're not going to talk about this a real lot, but double blood diamonds on the 7-day, double blood diamonds on a time frame this large is very, very bearish. I mean, it may take some time to play out, but I think it will play out. And when it does, it could bring us down a lot. I mean, money flow, this looks as bad as possible. Money flow coming right out right here on the 7-day. And let's see, right there, the 6-day as well, as bad as possible. A little trigger wave right there, money flow coming out. So I think inevitably it could take a little bit of time to play out. You know, maybe not until the new year comes in, but yeah, I mean, you're looking at probably your next major point to being pre-pandemic areas, 320, you know, 3,200, that area. So keep an eye out for that. NASDAQ as well, as bad as possible on the 7-day right here. So I think, like the S&P 500, your next big place is going to be pre-pandemic areas, you know, this golden pocket right here, you know, 9,000 or 8,800, I should say. So yeah, and that could, I think if, you know, NASDAQ comes down that much, if S&P 500 comes down that much, you're looking at Bitcoin probably coming down to at least, you know, 11K to those points. So that's where we're probably looking at for the next 2 weeks for that. Also, Tesla just keeps free falling. We can look at it briefly here for, you know, where we could latch onto. It looks like you're probably going to hit this area right here, this around the $100 area before you have any significant increase, significant relief in this. So yeah, just pretty rough right there. But I think there could be a potentially good, you know, day, you know, a little swing long or something once we hit this area. Maybe come back up to 120 from there. So that could be a big jump up. It's something to keep an eye on. Similar to what Netflix and Meta did when they kind of, you know, kept free falling and then they hit big areas. I mean, you do have on the 12-hour 1, 2, 3, 4 ELXs, and look for, you know, probably money flow to start curving back up here, big bullish div. Probably get a little swing long in or something, you know, a little jump up, back up. But I think inevitably you can go down, you know, quite a bit more here, easily down to like $60. You know, even pre-pandemic numbers, $50. I think this will hold up. Obviously, you know, I could hold up better in some other things because, you know, there's some good fundamentals behind Tesla, obviously, but. Yeah, 90% correction, that would be rough. But 87, 86, yeah, could potentially be there. I think that could take some time. We may not see those numbers for, you know, into summer or more, but that's what I'm looking at for Tesla right now. And the DXY, so this is interesting. I mean, on the daily, you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ELXs. That's what you want to look for. We're hitting a major fib level. I would say you're most likely gonna have a jump up here. If you don't, what seems likely is that you're gonna have some more inflation, and then Fed is gonna be forced to hike rates another 50 basis points, or who knows, maybe even more at the next meeting. And that's where market could come down some more, and then DXY finally comes up. So be careful with that. But I think ultimately, a little bit of like tease here where it's like, oh no, maybe it won't come up with some of these blood diamonds, but I think you will get your jump up that I'm looking for here at least. So yeah, that's all I got for you today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, please subscribe to the channel. Check out my exclusive Discord down below, but I would recommend waiting till the first on that because you will get double charged. It's how Patreon works. A lot of good trades in there, a lot of exclusive TA in there as well. If you guys are interested in learning how to trade, learning how to use risk management, how I do my technical analysis and a lot of my strategies, check out my trading course down below. Discount code BEARMARKET20, 20% off, so check that out. Also, please check out the BITGET trading competition down below, first link down below. If you're an experienced trader, really good competition, really good promo right there. Really like BITGET, so check that out. And obviously follow my Twitch for the live streams. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.